How you can get it back, yeah, cause I ain't never done. I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah. I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always
All right, what's up, guys? Good evening, and welcome on into the UTLR live stream here this evening. It's going to be an awesome night. What a season we've had so far! It's been amazing. Very excited for everything that's been going on, um, and yeah, it's such a season that we're ready for, and we're ready for next season as well. So a lot to get to it. So pretty much kind of recapping what we've seen so far out of season six. Not a whole lot. I got LRS, Crimson, and SP up here in the booth. So we're excited to see everybody in the chat already. Uh, LRS, it's been such an amazing season so far. Kind of talk us through what you've seen kind of in the lower series, I'll say, in the Truck and Xfinity.
Yeah, I feel like in the lower series, especially the truck series, which I run, we've seen a lot of really clean racing. We've had a record number of races go caution free. A lot of clean racing. We've had a lot of different drivers visit Victory Lane. Um, Myself, I've visited Victory Lane the most, but it's been really fun, really aggressive, really competitive, and we're almost into the final four, almost into the championship phase for the truck series. I'll see if SP wants to do the Xfinity series since he runs it.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Um, so the Xfinity series, I run that, and it's honestly we haven't raced the Xfinity series. I want to say since season three. Um, and honestly, I'm glad we brought it back. It's provided a lot of racing, probably the best racing out of the three series we've seen. A lot of clean battles, a lot of aggressive driving, a lot of fun. I've won probably the most races that is eligible for the playoffs, which is nice. But yeah, um, I don't know what you guys were talking about because I just got back. But is there a schedule you guys want me to go over?
Nope, not yet. We are getting there. Just doing a quick
Okay, but
recap.
anyway, yeah, the season's getting ready. We're getting ready for the playoffs here. We have Mid Ohio starting next week. I'll be in the road course king I am, and probably my title will be stolen away here shortly, probably next season from INF or Luke. Gotta say, I've liked it. Mid Ohio, great track. I almost won it in trucks. I was about 2 corners short. INF kind of dumped me, and it took it from me. So I will get some payback there if it comes down to it. So I know what to do there to win. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we've got a great playoff format coming up for Xfinity. A lot of very diverse tracks. Great stuff going to happen. But that's going to be the series to watch, I feel like. I'm not trying to brag and not trying to be biased, but Xfinity series, that's going to be one to watch.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. All three are gonna be one to watch. It's been quite amazing to see all the series prevailing. Uh, Crimson, you want to kind of recap what we've seen just overall in the Cup Series this season?
Yeah, man, it's been, Cup Series, I think, personally, I think it's been probably one of our better seasons. A lot of good competition throughout the season, and then little perks throughout the season as well to make everybody race just a little bit harder. And I've been very impressed with everybody on track, some of the new guys we've had, and in total, I think it's been great so far. Look forward to seeing how the playoffs are gonna tee up and see where we can go.
Heck yeah. Well, with that, let's dive right into it, shall we? Got a lot to discuss, so we don't want to keep the drivers waiting. We already see Deeport out there. I'm here for my championships, please. Clater for his one win. Um, O'Hara saying Broom. That's awesome. Um, so let's get right into it, shall we? So pretty much, y'all see right here. Um, here is season 7 as an overall basic. If y'all haven't picked up on the hints that we've been giving you in the chats, if you are a driver, UTLR Cup Series next season is going to Gen 6 and the next gen cars. So we're actually very excited to have both of them, as it is going to be a Heat 5 farewell tour, because obviously we're going to be on the new game for season 8. So season 7 will be our farewell tour, providing racing in the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and both the old gen and next gen series. So it's going to be quite a show. And so let's get right into it. So starting off in season 7, we have what is going to be called the draft. And it's going to be quite a adventure. We decided on something very unique. This is kind of an idea that we thought about for season 8, but we decided, you know what, let's get a preview of how we're going to do it in season 7. So with that, LRS, I want you to kind of talk about the draft, how it's going to work out this year.
Yeah, so for the draft, Alex pretty much by himself decided to shorten up how many teams we have. So there are some teams, as you guys can see in the left graphic, that gained cars. No team really lost cars. The only teams that didn't gain cars were 23XI and RFK. We do have a multitude of teams with 4 cars this season. But I do think the most important part of it is we are going to be choosing team captains at a random for this season. And they will get to choose which team they want to be the owner of. And they will be able to reach out to specific drivers and ask about their availability and see if they would like to drive for their team. It's not really a snake draft like we tried in season 3 or season 2. It's nothing like that. It's if you want that driver to race for you, you reach out, you ask them, and if they want to drive for you, they'll accept the offer and they will be driving for your team.
Yeah, and so obviously at the end of the season, when season 6 becomes to an end, we will be going based off, like, we'll be doing a random wheel with the team captains, but whenever it comes to choosing, we are going to go in order of the season 6 finale standings. So you'll be going in order of champion down second, down third, and whenever it gets your turn, if you've been reached out to by a driver or by a captain, then that is your chance to say, hey, I'm going to join, Hendrick, or I'm going to join RCR, or whatever the case may be. So you're still going to get to have to pick your order. There is going to be an order to it. Now, if you choose a team and that captain has not reached out to you, don't worry, captains. It's not over. There will be a time period that we're going to allow y'all to make trades if need be, or if y'all want to. Now, if there's not a team captain for this certain team, and you're the first driver that says, hey, I want to be on, you say, front row. Well, front row doesn't have a driver yet, or doesn't have a captain. Then you become kind of that captain, and the captains are not going to have any type of responsibilities. I know that was kind of an issue last time around, was that the captains would have a responsibility to qualify drivers. No, that's not the case. Nothing changes. All your responsibility is to draft your team and to kind of not necessarily lead your team, but kind of just be there the entire season. Have your team work together because team points will be coming back. So it is going to be crucial that you maybe work with your team. Like Luke stated, there's going to be some teams that have combined drivers. We've taken out, we've added 2 cars to Spire Motorsports, or sorry, 1 car to Spire Motorsports. We've added 2 cars. We've taken Colleague and put those 2 cars into Trackhouse. Team Penske has gained the 21 car from Wood Brothers, so now they are a 4-car team. So Rick Ware Racing has gained 2 cars. So we're just kind of trying to make it more even. We did not want to get rid of 23XI or RFK, so that's why there remaining 2 cars. There's no true cars to take to put into those teams without taking away from those 2 teams. So unfortunately, they will remain 2-car teams, but still the case. They can work with, Team Chevy, Team Ford, Team Toyota, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's gonna be kind of how the draft works out this year. It'll be interesting, and we'll have more details kind of for that as the time comes, and with questions that develop, or if you have questions, we can answer them right here and there. So, High Road has to say, why not keep how the teams are in real life? We thought about that, but there's just so much people want as close, and we want competitiveness along the teams. So we want to put into perspective those teams to have a fighting shot. So there's going to be more 4 and 3-car teams. Not necessarily that all teams are going to get filled. We may have a 4-car team that stays at 3-car that has 1 empty ride, but it's going to work out. It's going to be awesome. It's not crazy like it was in season 3. It's just kind of a little extra, but not too much. So we're excited for that. So with that, I'm going to transition into the Cup Series. We're going to get the show on the road. So here is the Cup Series season schedule. All right, so Go Dogs. Let's say if you're in the Truck Series, is there possible to get called up? LRS, you want to kind of talk on that?
Yeah, so there is a possibility to get called up. I think I want to be right on this. I'm going to say what I think it is. If you are a full-time competitor in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, you can race as many times as you want in the Cup Series. You're just going to have to find a seat that is open, and you're going to have to find a seat that, you want to fit yourself into, because if you're going to be making Cup starts, you want it to be within a team that you will be working well with.
Exactly. And once playoffs start, if you are not competing for the championship in the Cup Series, if you're not a full-time driver in the Cup Series, then you will be asked to step down at the conclusion of the regular season for Cup Series. So you do have the option to race as many races. All right, so it is that time. Let's unveil the Cup Series Season 7 schedule. Up first, here we go. Starting off with the Clash at Chicagoland in Gen 6 cars. We kind of released this previously, but we'll go over the details in just a second, because as you can see, there is an open and there's a Clash main event. And then we'll go to the duels at Daytona for the duels in the Gen 7 cars. And before we get to Daytona, I'm going to click off here. We're going to go to the Clash, and we're going to talk about how the Clash is. It's on August 28th of this year, is whenever that will take place. LRS, you want to talk about the setup?
Yeah, so I don't really know the details about the Open, but I will explain for the main race. Me, Alex, SP Crimson decided that we were going to go with a 1-timed wear race on, I think it's High Draft. So that way there's not much strategy. It's a full out race. You're just going to be racing as hard as you can. I don't think you'll have to pit. You're just going to be racing in the draft, using all the lanes, and you're going to be competing for the Clash win.
Yes, the only thing you did have wrong with the High Draft, it's normal draft.
All right.
But yes, so straight up in the main, the Open is going to be a 67-lap race with the Time 3 wager and a normal draft package, no stages, and the top 15 drivers advance. Why so many? Well, because if you look right at the top of your screen, it's open to all league drivers, no matter what series you're in. If you're in Trucks, Xfinity, or Cup, you can compete in the Cup Series Clash. So every driver can compete. So we may have a 30-car field on track, which would be awesome. But we may have that many, and the top 15 advance to the main event. So it's going to be awesome on that one. So going back to the schedule here, kicking it off at Daytona in the next gen. As you can see, ×2 normal, nothing new there. The second race is going to be Gen 6 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Oval. So we are returning back to the Oval. It's going to be the second race of the season, followed by Las Vegas as a third race in the next gen. And then race 4 and 5 will be at Iowa and then Atlanta. And you see right there, ×3 normal draft at Iowa, and then the ×2 in the Gen 6 at high draft at Atlanta. Now, why y'all highlighting purple? Well, this is going to be where LRS kicks back in. Wait on SP and Crimson to get back by, but this is going to be kind of LRS's idea that he came up with. We announced it, the in-season tournament. So, Luke, kind of brief us on that one.
Yeah, so the in-season tournament is basically a play off of the real-life NASCAR in-season tournament, and I also mixed it with the ideas from Mole's in-season tournament for the All-Star race last season. It's going to be an elimination-style event where we go from 16 drivers down to 2. The qualifier is at Daytona, and the top 16 full-time finishers will be in the in-season tournament, and we will dwindle down every week from Daytona all the way to Atlanta, where the final 2 will fight for the win of the in-season tournament. It will award an automatic playoff berth if you are not already locked in, as well as 10 playoff points.
Yeah, so SP, are you kind of excited? I mean, what's your thoughts on this whole in-season tournament? Because it's kind of an idea that I know Luke kind of ran by you as well. Or not. All right, so yeah, pretty much that's gonna be what it is. We're actually excited for that as well. And then we're going to go back to the schedule here after Atlanta. After the in-season tournament is complete, we're going to go to Road America. That'll be the first road course of the season. We're going to go to Phoenix in the next gen, and then Kentucky will be the October 30th Halloween race, pretty much on a ×2 low draft in the Gen 6. And going back to LRS because he comes up with so many ideas, but this is his little cash grab that he talks about every year. And here is the Halloween cash grab. LRS, this is all yours.
Yeah, so once again, for the 3rd season in a row, we're bringing back the cash grab. This season, it is going to be on Halloween once again, like last year. The qualifier is going to be at Phoenix Raceway. And the main event will take place at Kentucky. The qualifier is the top 4 full-time finishers. They will all go against each other at Kentucky Speedway. But this season, instead of a $25 Xbox gift card, I'm doubling the prize, and it's going to be a $50 Xbox gift card for the winner.
Ooh, I like that. That's going to get some good attention. I like it. Got good attention last year with the 25, so $50 of Xbox gift card. Man, you could actually afford a game now when it actually releases. That would actually be awesome.
Oh, for sure.
All right. The Cup Series schedule, so back to it. After that, so after the cash grab is over, we're going to go to Martinsville for the night race. And then it's going to be
Moleville.
on... Exactly. Mole, there's your win. That's your only win next season. Guarantee it.
You said that last season, and he friggin' won 8 races this season, 6? Whatever you got.
Maybe.
Good job, Alex. Winning 2 races this season? How many wins does he have?
Hey, easy now. I don't... I suck, okay? I already know.
Well, at least you know the obvious.
Oh, I do. After Martinsville, we head to a doubleheader week, or 2 weeks, kind of. It's not like a weekend, but a doubleheader week. It'll be November 13th at the Charlotte Road Course, and then following that up will be the Charlotte Oval. And if y'all did not pay attention to, I know what MVRA tried, and thank you to Flash if he's tuned in. Thank you, Flash, for testing this so we didn't have to. And after we did normal drafts last season, and Flash ran MVRA on low draft, and we actually figured out that it works. So low draft at Charlotte in the next gen cars next season at the Oval. So y'all can thank Flash for that one. I'll give him the credits for that as a good test subject. And then that heads us into our first off week into Thanksgiving. And then after that, we will head to the Kansas Speedway. Flash said, "You are welcome." And then here is Chicagoland on High Draft. That is where you probably got the idea, Luke. High Draft at Chicagoland in the Gen 6 cars on December 11th. Heading into the race before Christmas holidays is our All-Star race. And SP, I'm going to kind of let you start talking here. This is the All-Star race at Bristol Motor Speedway on the dirt track. So y'all dirt fans, listen up. Bristol Dirt Race, December 18th. Kind of get into the heat races. SP, if you want to kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so me and Alex kind of came up with this idea, and we were not fond of it at first, but we kind of liked it pretty much. Going to split everyone into a bunch of heat races. We got 4 heats, I believe. 3 of them are the main heat races, and then our 4th one will be the last chance qualifier, if needed, obviously. Each heat's going to be about 18 laps, top 4 advance from each one. The person who wins Heat 1 will start P1 in the real race. Person who wins Heat 2 will start second, and Heat 3, so on and so forth. If you finish second in Heat 1, you're 4th, and you guys get the drill. And then everyone who doesn't finish after that will go in the last chance qualifier, and then that's pretty much it as far as that. And then obviously, what do you call it? I believe we're only gonna have about 3 or 4 heats, and we might have 5. We never know, but probably 4 or 3. Anyway, 2 last chance qualifiers, obviously. Both of those are very quick, little 10 lappers for both of them. Top 3 advance. Why is my voice closing up? Holy crap. Excuse me. The top 3 will pretty much start behind all the guys who won all the heat races and all that, pretty much. And then everyone who pretty much fails last chance qualifiers, well, you failed. Come back next year. And yeah, pretty much. So anyway, fan vote. Pretty much also we have that too. You can vote on our Facebook page when the time comes for next season. So that'll be pretty much there. And then last thing is the All-Star race. It's a 4 times wear, 62 lap, no stages, manual cautions. It's going to be a blast, let me tell you. This All-Star race, it's going to be fun. It's going to test the ability of these drivers. And why not do it on a dirt track? Why not?
Well, the best part is, who's eligible? Guess what? Every single person that is tuned in right here that is in the league next season is eligible. Every driver is just like the Clash. As long as you're in the league, you are eligible. Now, if you're an F2 guy watching, I'm sorry, you're not eligible.
Womp womp.
You're in the league, but you're not in the NASCAR side of it. So F2 guys, you're not eligible to race in the All-Star race or the Clash on the NASCAR side. This is NASCAR league drivers only. But yes, every series, truck, Xfinity, and Cup drivers, you are all eligible. That's why we have so many last chance qualifiers. That's why we're doing the heats. It's gonna be awesome. And like SP said, the best part is that All-Star race, 4 times wear, 62 laps. Luke, that's gonna be insane. No stages. So
Yeah.
you're pitting almost what, every 10 laps maybe? Every 10, 15 laps?
Yeah, and what's going to add a crazy effect to this is the fuel gauge is messed up at Bristol Dirt. So you're really not going to know when you're going to have to pit. The fuel gauge is so messed up, so you're just going to have to wing it, be ready, and whoever plays the best strategy is going to come out on top.
Yeah, not a lot of people really like dirt, so you're going to have to really prep for that. And we're hoping to have a little trophy on the line of some sort. Don't know exactly what that trophy will be in the form of, but we're going to try to do a little something next season for that. But yeah, get your dirt practice in because you're going to need it. Because some drivers think they have it all, and some guys think that they don't when they actually do, and vice versa. So it's going to be an awesome, awesome show for the All-Star race. We're very excited that we're able to put that all together for y'all. looking back at to the schedule, so that does lead us into that does lead us into Christmas break. After that, we kick off the new year. Now, this is where it gets skeptical because, and us admins are aware of it, and some of y'all racers might be as well. This current Heat 5 contract with Motorsports Games and everything, there's been the rumors of, the game is only supposed to hold up until 2024. At the end of 2024, it's supposedly not going to be available to us. Heat 5 may not exist after 2024. We all know the possibilities. We've seen it happen time and time again with the issues, but we're hoping that there is no more crisis, and we can carry on. But if that is the case, then we'll decide what we do from there on. But we'll start off the new year on the new year, January 1st, Talladega. Let's kick off 2025 with a bang. As long as we get to, it's going to get Talladega in the next gen car. It's going to be awesome. Heading to a short track of Richmond in the Gen 6, followed by Sonoma in the Gen 7, and then we go to Darlington, where Crimson. We want to kind of talk about the throwback week. Or maybe not. He said he was back. Maybe not. Throwback week is going to be January 21st through the 23rd. And as you can see, it's going to be all 3 series. So, yes, next season, all of Throwback Week is coming back to Darlington on its traditional week. It's going to be all 3 series on the same week. So that's going to be kind of a cool. Last season, this season, it's been kind of spread out. Cup Series goes one place, Xfinity goes to another, Trucks goes to another, and it's been different times of the season. So it's all back to one place, Darlington. Everybody can do throwbacks because guess what? It's on the Gen 6. So Gen 6 is going to be awesome. We're ready for that. Everybody can actually have a chance at getting some throwbacks. And I know everybody's been itching to have throwbacks. So I'm ready for it. Then we look back to the schedule again, leading into the Pocono doubleheader. And SP, you want to discuss on the doubleheader week of Pocono?
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that, shall we? So we did the Pocono doubleheader, obviously, earlier this season, and actually was a hit with the drivers, 2 25% races. One was a 3 times wear, one was a 4 times wear. Well, we're going to do things a little differently this time. We're going to do one in the next gen and one in the Gen 6 car. So it's going to be a very interesting race, to say the least. Because these Gen 7 cars, the next gen cars let's talk about, they don't handle very well, obviously. So race 1, obviously, is going to be about 35 laps, and race 2 is also 35 laps, which would equal out to a 50% race. They're both 25%ers. 3 times wear for the first one, 4 times wear for the second one. And pretty much top 3 are going to be, they're going to get inverted post-race. I don't know what you mean by that, Alex, as far as
No, interviewed.
Oh, I thought it said inverted. I can't read. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Anyway, 5 to 7 minute break. Race 2 lineup, inverts of race 1 finishing results. So if you finish dead last or lag out, hey, guess what? You're on the pole for the next race. So, and then obviously race 2. Now, Alex, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Which one's gonna be the drivers want to know? Which one's the 4% or 4 times wear race? Which one's the 3 times wear?
Well, I mean, the second race is going to be the 4 times on the Gen 7.
That's what I was gonna say.
While race 1 is going to be on the Gen 6. Let me double check. That's why I look.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, so the first race is on the Gen 6, and second one is the Gen 7. So that's going to be pretty cool. I like that. It gives the drivers. So yes, y'all got to bear with us like y'all did this season, as we have to transition out of a whole lobby, get the pictures what we need, and then transition over to the other lobby and have your cars already ready to go. Like, there won't be much time for you to make a car real quick unless you're really quick at making a car. But have your car ready to go in that Gen 6, and then we transfer over into the Gen 7. So give us that time to kind of get things set, but it should flow very well. So yeah, but like you said, also, it's a double points race, and the double points are not changing from how we were this year to next year. Both races are double points. It's two chances to lock into playoffs. Stages will be implemented, so every stage point is doubled. The playoff points are doubled. The overall finishing results points are doubled. Everything is doubled, so it's gonna be pretty cool. And at the top of your screen, like it said, for the race number one, typical standard procedure for UTLR on qualifying for that first race. It'll be you will have to qualify in the Gen 6. There's the kicker. You're not going to be able to qualify in the Gen 7. You will have to qualify in the Gen 6 cars because that's where race number one will be in. Will be in the Gen 6. So don't try to qualify in the Gen 7 in the next gen cars just because one of the races is that. You will no, it's not going to work. Luke, what is your thoughts on this?
I liked it a lot last year, and I'm gonna like it a lot, or well, I guess this year, and I'm gonna like it a lot next year, next season, because, um, somebody who's not having a great season could come out, do well in both races, gain 100 points, and change their entire season. And that's the whole point of it. You want to reward people for being consistent. That's the point. I like that.
Same here, buddy. Same here. So after we have the double points event, then that's it for the events, really. After that, it is a stretch and race to the playoffs. We go to Texas Motor Speedway for only one time this next season. We'll only visit Texas once. So y'all Texas fans, get ready to enjoy yourselves because I know a lot of people hate that track. So yes, we're going there one time. It's in the Gen 7s. Then we head to Canadian Tire in the Gen 6. We're heading back there in the Cup Series. That'll be fun. We had a great battle in the Truck Series this year, so it'll be fun to see it in the Cup Series. We head to Michigan in the next gen. We have a little stretch of next gen races. We have Michigan, the Bristol Night Race. Yes, we did take Bristol Night Race out of the playoffs. So Bristol Night Race is no longer a playoff race. That was a change. Dover, we're only going there once. So all y'all Dover hater fans, then y'all can be excited. Flash, you're one of them, I know. So Dover will not be getting bulldozed, but it goes down from 2 races in the season to 1. New Hampshire is getting 1 race on the March 12th, and then we head to Mid-Ohio for the Gen 6, where that'll be our last road course of the regular season, and then Homestead will be pushed out into the right before the playoffs. How Texas was this year is our penultimate race. Well, Homestead will be our penultimate race next season, and then we end it at Daytona. But look at that. The last race of the season, Luke, low draft at Daytona in the next gen. How do you think that's going to favor?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say that is subject to change. We are going to test it. It is there right now because I had an idea about the low draft possibly working in a specific way that nobody has thought about. We do have to test it, but again, it is there as a placeholder. So it might not be low draft. It likely will be normal draft, but we will be testing that low draft. My idea with it was if there's low draft, you're not going to suck up to the people on the bottom as fast while you're pushing. So you can get the top lane working if you're consistent enough. I feel like they'll be side by side and there will be really no advantage. It will force both lanes to work.
Honestly, I like that. Crimson, are you back yet? Maybe not. Okay.
Finally, it took me a minute. My headset died.
No. So what is your thoughts about this potential idea of Daytona in the next gen cars as the last chance to make the playoffs, and it's in a low draft package? What would be your thoughts on that?
Kind of catching up off of what LRS said. I think all of us really agreed it's going to force everybody to not only make moves, but kind of run something other than that low line, or do something different than just fall in line and do single line racing. It's going to kind of make the races more interesting and kind of give a competitive aspect to it to really make a competitive finishing for the season.
I know I'm excited. I know you're excited. And I think all the admins, and I'm hoping some drivers will get on with us to we'll probably be reaching out to some of y'all to get on to help test this theory before next season to see is it something that we need to do? Will it actually work? Does it create better overall racing, or people just want to fall in line and race single file just because they can't, they don't want to lose that draft? But I think it is going to kind of keep people close quarters, so it is something that we want to try out. Again, like Lucas said, it's going to be something that we test before we for sure implement it, but it is in the schedule as of right now, because that's our goal. And then obviously we have that break before playoffs on April the 9th. We'll not be racing, give y'all the break that y'all deserve before we head into the playoffs. And the playoffs look like this. The first round is going to be Auto Club, followed by Homestead Road Course. Yes, it is coming back. Now, granted, we'll actually get to probably get rid of it, or get to race the entire actual road course on the new game, depending on what it does and what it brings to the table. But we're definitely racing next season. But we got some feedback from y'all, and y'all like how it handles in a Gen 6 versus the next gen. So we're going to put it in the Gen 6 cars this season and in the second round of the playoffs. And then we're going to close out the first round at Gateway in the next gen cars. And then that second round will be Las Vegas in the next gen, followed by Watkins Glen. And then Richmond Raceway in the next gen takes place of the Bristol Night Race. So it is still going to be a short track, but we're taking it out and replacing it with Richmond. So, Crimson, you want to kind of talk about the final 4 races this season, or next season?
If his headset's alive.
I'm guessing not. Luke, hand off to you. Take it away.
Yeah, I'll go for it. It is, as you guys can see, 2 and 2. There's 2 next gen races, 2 Gen 6 races. We thought that, splitting it perfectly in half would be a perfect summary and a finish to the season, because that's what we're doing. We're doing half the season Gen 6, half the season Gen 7. We're opening the playoffs at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the next gen car. And you see it's on ×2 normal draft. That's going to be a fun race. It's very hard to pass at Atlanta, but it is also very aggressive racing. And to open the Final 4, that's going to be fun. You guys see in the next race for Gen 4, Gen 6, Gen 4,
Jeez.
we return to Iowa Speedway in the Final 4. That's going to be a fun one. It's in a Gen 6 car. It's 2 times normal, as you guys can see. And then we get to our road course section in the next gen car in Road America. It's going to be the penultimate race of the season, 2 times normal wear. And I don't know if this will be a popular one, but instead of a super speedway in the Final 4, we decided to go with Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is such an important track in the racing world. We decided to go with ×2 wear on high draft in the Gen 6 car. So we will be crowning a champion at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as you guys can see in the graphic, in all 3 series next season.
Yes, I'm actually excited. Answering Brad's questions, or the questions coming in real quick on the playoffs real quick. Yes, we got no super speedways, unless you count Atlanta in the next gen car. But yes, we do have Richmond, Iowa, Gateway as your short tracks. So there are some short tracks in there. We got some road courses, and then really your biggest factors for, I guess, super speedways, or I guess your bigger tracks was like Auto Club and Atlanta as that super speedway package, and then you got Atlanta or Auto Club to kind of kick it off. So a little bit more tight, closer racing. Actually, Gateway, I know it's actually more than a mile INF, but it's actually 1.25 if you actually look it up. Gateway is a 1.25 mile track, not a 1.5. Looked that up before. But yes, Brad, we do have short tracks in the playoffs. We're not taking out short tracks. But yes, that is going to be an exciting championship weekend. I'm actually very excited for Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's going to be a interesting one. SP, you here?
Give me 1 second here.
He is actually
Well,
racing
Alex,
right now as well, so that's why.
Before SP does chime in, I want to mention, when you guys look at the playoff races for the Cup Series, you'll notice in every single round we went with an intermediate, a short track, and a road course. In every single round, we had the opportunity in the Final Four to put the super speedway race, but we just thought that it's not what we're looking for in terms of competitiveness. A super speedway is not how you want to end the season. So we decided to go with Indy, where we're also racing the second race of the season. We feel like it's a good bookend.
Okay.
Yes. SB, what is your thoughts on ending at Indy with the high draft in play
Um,
on Gen 6?
it's a historic track, and honestly, man, I mean, I love it. It's a great track. And why not to end it at one of the best tracks, on this game? Indy's been one of the best tracks in ETLR. Seen a lot of good races, even on the road course part. It's been nice. Hint, hint, something's about to happen. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been really, fun racing at Indy, and I can't wait to. Obviously, I won't be able to partake in the Cup Series side, but I mean, it's been unbelievable. The racing that Indy's provided with UTLR.
I like it. Yeah, and like I said, it's very historic, so that's the main key. And like I said, like Luke said, it kind of replaces the super speedway because super speedways are declared as anything more than 2 miles, and Indy is a 2.5 miles, so it kind of takes the place of that in the realm. So it's a great way to end the season. So that is your Cup Series schedule, and that's your Cup Series events. It's time to move on to the Xfinity Series.
Oh boy,
Yay!
here we go.
Here's where everyone fucking shits a brick. Excuse
Yeah.
my French.
Here's what I know people have been excited for the Cup and all that, and it seems like we have a lot more interest in the trucks and Xfinity. So here is when it gets interesting. The Xfinity Series schedule. Luke, you want to kind of talk over the first handful of races?
Yeah, let's go through the first handful of races. Immediately, you guys can see we've done it differently this season. All of the lower end series, the Xfinity, well, yeah, the Xfinity series is going to follow the Cup Series around the country where we're going to be racing. So we open the season in Daytona on high draft times 2. The second race of the season, we could have gone to the Indy Oval, but you could thank SP. Well, we're going to the Indy Road Course.
Yay!
Yeah, that was a change. So yes, if you hate the Indy Road Course, well, guess what? We're getting it out of the way early. So you can thank again, like I said, SP, but we are getting it out of the way early. Luke, you're going.
Yeah, the third race of the season, normal times 2. We're going to Las Vegas. Like I said, this is following the Cup schedule. Iowa, the fourth race of the season, low draft times 3. Alex, it's highlighted in blue if you want to go over why that's important.
Yeah, so Iowa is going to be the Xfinity Series double header, or sorry, double points event. So short track, double points at Iowa. Now, if y'all Xfinity guys remember, or if you were watching the Xfinity Series race, you saw last season where we had a field strategy, and tire strategy take place, and look at it very closely if you pay attention and you know your stats and everything. Last season, or sorry, this season at Iowa when we did that, it was a times 3 low package. Look at that. It's the same exact thing. So could we see the insanity that took place? Those last 2 laps were low broke and others were running out of fuel, blowing tires on the last lap. Low broke blows a tire, or sorry, he runs out of fuel, handing the win off to one bad who played strategy to hold off enough fuel to win the race and tires. Guess what? Next season, we're doing the exact same thing, double the points.
And then after the double points event, we have Atlanta Motor Speedway normal times 3 wear. Now, if you guys have noticed, as we're going down, the Xfinity races are a little more challenging in terms of the wear. We're doing times 3. As you can see down the order, there might be some times 4, there's times 2. It's all going to be different this season because we want the Xfinity Series to be tough and we want names to be made in the Xfinity Series, like their slogan. I didn't mean to steal that, but Road America is after Atlanta, low times 2, then Phoenix, normal times 3. Then we have Halloween off. That's the first time in a long time we've had Halloween off because we haven't had a race on Halloween on the day. And then coming back from Halloween in November, Martinsville, normal times 2. Charlotte, road course. I see it follows a doubleheader that the Cup Series does. Not the doubleheader, but 2 races in a row. Normal times 4. SP, do you want to explain why the Charlotte Roval is on normal times 4?
I don't. I don't even know why we have it on normal times 4. I didn't decide that.
That was an interesting call. Whenever y'all were saying, "Hey, let's throw some just randoms out there." So yeah, just random times 4. Let's throw some wild cards in the game. Road course. Uh, Real quick, also Brad. Yes, it is Gen 6 Cup cars. They're gonna be whatever you want. Yes, Luke, thank you. Yeah, whatever you want, Brad, in the Cup cars, custom or in car, as long as it matches your car number from the Gen 7. It has to match. Uh, Now, but yes, road course, Charlotte times 4, and then we go to Charlotte Oval times 3, and that heads us into Thanksgiving week off. Again, Xfinity is lined up perfectly because they're on the actual Halloween or on the actual major holidays. Like Thanksgiving actually is on Thanksgiving Day this year. Halloween is on Halloween night. We know that y'all take care of y'all's little kids overnight, and so we don't want to interrupt that prime time that we race at. Is usually by the time that everybody's out and about or whatever else. So we're giving y'all Halloween off. And Luke, you want to continue on with the second part of the schedule?
Yeah, we can go through the second part. As you guys see, after the Thanksgiving break, we head to Kansas Speedway. Normal times 2, going to be a fun race. Usually, top group track, so we're going to have some nice competitive racing there. And then we go to Chicagoland on High Draft times 3. That's going to be a fun one. And then Alex, we head into a long break.
Yeah, it's been kind of a little oddball, and I want to backtrack just a hair because I didn't get to put it in on the Charlotte doubleheader that we were talking about with the road course. We have what is called the Double Dip Challenge at the road course and the oval. So, first week is going to be 2 races, 6 drivers, 1 winner. It's a double dip challenge. Custom schemes, and you must have purple wheels if you're in the competition. Who's eligible? Well, right there. 8th through 13th in the points after Martinsville are the guys eligible. The first race, obviously, the Charlotte Roval on times 4, Charlotte Oval on times 3. The reward will be the best average finish between all those drivers, and you get 20 bonus points and 10 playoff points. That is inverted from last season, or sorry, this season, where we had 10 bonus points and 20 playoff points. Or actually, sorry, 15 playoff points because Lowbro kind of got into the playoffs only because he won the short track challenge. So we're kind of changing it up. We're going to do the double dip challenge at the Charlotte Speedway complex, and you get to race your way on the Roval and the oval, and it's going to be 10 playoff points and 20 bonus points if you can manage to be the best average finish of those 6 drivers.
Thanks, Lowbroke.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's gonna be actually kind of cool. I'm curious to see how it works out because it's only 2 races. Best average finish will get it done. Backing up to the breaks here, they do kind of go on a break like Luke talked about. The All-Star break is because again, every series is involved in the Cup Series All-Star race at Bristol Dirt. So Xfinity trucks, y'all are getting the All-Star break or the All-Star week off. Y'all are not racing because we want all the focus to be on the All-Star week. Following that is Christmas break, obviously. Then, like in the Cup Series, we kick off at Talladega, and then we kick off to another off week, random off week for January 9th, and then we head to Sonoma on times 2 on January 16th. SP's going to be ready to dominate unless somebody kick him off his podium.
INF's racing, I ain't dominating.
Then we go to the throwback race, like we said. It's every series on the same week, Darlington Raceway. Then we head into another off week before we head off to the last 3 races of this section, which is Texas, Canadian Tire, and Michigan. And guess what? There's another double points. 2 double points races in Xfinity. Double points at Iowa and double points at Michigan. And look right there, high draft times 2 in the Xfinity Series. So 2 chances at double points next season. That's going to be awesome. We're going to double it up, double or nothing. We got the double dip, we got the double points, we got 2 races. So
Krabby Patty double with cheese. Yep.
Yeah. Luke, take us into the last section of the grid before we hit playoffs.
Yeah, so going into the playoffs, we have a stretch like the Cup Series with no real important, just anything in terms of challenges or tournaments. We start at Bristol following the Cup Series, low draft times three, where we go into another. I'm not going to call Dover a short track, but it kind of races like a short track. Low times three. Then New Hampshire, SPN Flash had the closest finish in history in the Cup Series at New Hampshire this season. So that's looking to fall back onto its previous success. And then we go to the Mid Ohio Sports Car course on normal times two, where we head into the Homestead Miami Speedway, and we end the regular season on Daytona International Speedway on high draft times two.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see that little stretch, especially low draft on time three at Dover. That will be an interesting race. I'm excited to see that. Uh, Before we head on to that little stretch of normal races, and then just like normal, the playoffs are actually exactly the same. They are exactly the same for the Xfinity Series. The only difference, I believe, is Auto Club is on high draft times three, and then on the Indy Oval is high draft times two, which is the same as the Cup Series. So the only difference, I believe, is the high draft at Auto Club on times three. Everything else is normal. You see Las Vegas on times three, and Iowa is on times three. So there's another change. That is one little small minute change. We have Iowa double points on that low draft times three package that we saw. Well, guess what? We get to see maybe a little bit of the same action, except on normal draft, but times three in the final four. So, Luke, what are you kind of thinking that might bring as far as thrilling excitement into a Final Four race like we may have seen this season?
Yeah, well, honestly, if you ask my opinion, in every round we have a times three race in the Xfinity Series. But like you said, especially in the final four, with Iowa having that times three race, it's going to be a strategy race. It's going to be who's going to maintain their stuff, who's going to win. Probably not Dusty. Sorry, Dusty. But yeah,
That's gonna be awesome. Hopefully Dusty may decide to move up and actually have a shot at something. Hopefully he gets a win this season. Dusty, we really do want you to get a win. Your time's coming next Xfinity. It seemed like it's taking forever. Uh, but yeah, guys, that is it for Xfinity. It's not much, but I mean it's a lot, but it's not much at the same time. But we did bring back, like I said, that double dip challenge. We're bringing something different to the table, something different from short track package and short track challenge. So we're excited to see that come back into play and see something different, but along the same variations in a sense. So
in the Indy Road Course. Shout out
yes,
INF.
yes,
You're gonna like that one.
INF, get ready. Road course is coming your way. All right, so the final one we're going to end on tonight is the Truck Series. And here is the Truck Series schedule. It's again the same lines of Xfinity and Cup. We want to line it all up so that way there's no confusion as where we're at, except for maybe 1 to 3 races throughout the season. Trucks, obviously, y'all know is going to be a little bit more spread out, but here's one key feature that you'll see: trucks do not have near as many off weeks. The off weeks will be not as many. So we actually we talked to some of the drivers. They said there's too many uh, weeks that we have off in the truck series. We want less off weeks. So that's gonna be one thing that we are going to do. And we heard your voices, and your voices have been heard. So we're going to take a look at the truck series schedule. Crimson, you even back yet? Or you found a new headset?
I am finally back,
Cool.
plugged in, hardwired, so we should be good now.
You want to take us through like the first handful of races in the Truck Series season?
Yeah, starting off strong at Daytona just to get the season kicked off with a bang. High draft times two wear. All of us thought making it high draft would just make the race that much more interesting and kind of show us what everybody's got for the season. Then we go to an off week that next week, and then we go over to Las Vegas on a normal draft 3 times wear. Excuse me. Las Vegas, then you got Iowa right after that. Same thing, normal draft 3 times wear, just to kind of see what everybody's got so far. Then carrying on over to Atlanta on another high draft with a 2 times wear. Again, just really kind of making things competitive on track and really making the drivers work for every position that they get.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, the times three at Iowa is to kind of replicate the Xfinity series, hoping that we can have maybe a little bit of the same action or the twists or the game changers in a sense, maybe in the trucks. Uh, so yeah, and then uh, we go into those double off weeks, giving y'all a little bit of a break after that little small stretch. And you'll kind of see where the more of the races kick in later on in the season. Um, we head into Kentucky on the Times 2 draft package, normal. Then we head to Eldora. Yes, we took Eldora out of the Final Four. Final Four race at Eldora is this season. We took Eldora. We moved it up into the early parts of the season, and it's going to be a double points event. So there is your trucks double points race. Heading into Charlotte road course again. We're going to double it up. Charlotte road course times 4 in the trucks. So that's going to be interesting. Luke, I mean, what is your thoughts on? We know what the Xfinity kind of reacts. What about the trucks?
Personally, on road courses, if you ask me, as the tires get older and as you start to run out of gas, the trucks and Xfinity cars and the Cup cars get faster. They get more fun to handle. They get more racy, and I feel like that was our plan with that. I feel like it's going to bring out the best.
I think it will. And honestly, I'm ready just to see that race. I can't wait to broadcast it. It's going to be awesome. Heading into the next week, Charlotte normal times 2. And then we head into Thanksgiving and then an off week leading into second part of the schedule. We head into Chicagoland on times 3 where on the high draft. And then I did not want to do this, guys, so bear with me on this. 3 off weeks back to back to back. I did not want to do this. But if you look at the way the schedule unfolds, look at the dates. With the way that our
That's unfortunate.
that was very unfortunate. I did not want to put that many off weeks back to back to back like that for y'all truck drivers. So I do apologize. That was kind of a out of my hand situation because of the way our All Star race is going to be with all the series involved. We wanted to give y'all that All Star break to allow everybody to focus in on the All Star race. So that one makes sense. The next two, I have nothing, and that's kind of out of my control. New Year's or Christmas Eve, yeah, that's not happening. And
My
New
birthday.
Year's Eve, everybody's getting drunk. Let's be honest.
Wait,
Uh,
you're telling me you couldn't control that?
no, I'm not putting
Yeah, let
y'all.
him go back 2,000 years and have Jesus born a day earlier. How do you want him to control it?
Exactly how he just said it, Luke.
Oh
That
my
actually sounds like
God.
a great idea. Very easy. Make a time machine, and there you go.
I know, 9 o'clock Eastern is somewhat early, but people start celebrating New Year's Eve quite early. So no, I'm not making y'all race, Denny, with 8 beers involved already before a race starts. So
I mean, he already is drunk when we race. Imagine what he is on New Year's.
Can't call it day drinking if you don't start in the morning.
exactly. So again, out of my hands. So I do apologize for that many weeks off. But it is what it is. We kick back up after the regular season or after that break, and we go to Richmond. That is where it's flip flopped from the Cup Series to the Xfinity Series, or sorry, Trucks to Xfinity Cup. We kick the season off at Talladega. The trucks have to wait an extra week, so Richmond is first, and then we go to Talladega for the high draft on times 2, and then we head to again play or not playoffs, throwback week at Darlington, nothing new there. Then we head into that off week, and then we head into Texas on ×3. Then we head into another off week. Then the double points race, the second one again, 2 double points races. So the second one will line up with Xfinity and will be at Michigan. Uh, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe the first race at Eldora lines up with the same off week of one of the Xfinity Series double points events. So don't quote me on that. I don't have it available to look up at the same time, but I did try to coincide the double points races to be on the same week. So it may be 2 different tracks, but you're lined up on the same week. It's double points week. I know for sure Michigan, the Eldora, I don't know which one it lines up with, but I'm pretty sure it lines up with like the first one. I want to say Iowa. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We just moved Iowa up into the Truck Series season a little bit earlier. So leading on into the season or the last chunk of the regular season, again, nothing out of the ordinary. Now, before I get to this section, I do want to go over the Triple Truck Challenge that is taking place. This is at Las Vegas, Iowa, and Atlanta early in the season again. So 3 races. It is returning. The Triple Truck Challenge is returning. It's going to be 3 races, multiple winners, and all the available or eligible drivers. You must be competing for the truck championship in order to compete for the trip. So you can be full time all you want, or part time, but you're not competing for the championship. Then you're not competing for the trip. So you gotta be competing for the Truck Series championship. You gotta choose to. If you don't, then you're just another racer on track at the time. It's gonna be kind of like last season, or I don't know if I keep on saying last season. This season, it's gonna be the same thing. You compete to be the highest finisher of every single week. The top 4 highest finishers come out accumulating the bonus points and playoff points. So I don't have it labeled out right now, but obviously it'll be the same as this season. You get a certain amount of playoff points. You get a certain amount of bonus points for finishing top 4 in each first, second, third, and fourth out of those eligible drivers. So you'll get extra points, extra playoff points, and bonus. Now, the highest finisher of all 3 weeks will be getting a grand prize of 30 bonus points and 10 playoff points, and that is a little bit lower than this season, where it was, I believe, 20 playoff points or 15 playoff points. It's down to 10. So we did lower that just a hair, 10 playoff points, and we upped the bonus points up to 30. So it's going to be awesome. Again, what better track? You got Vegas, a mile and a half. You got Iowa, a short track. Atlanta, another mile and a half that races a little bit differently. And it's going to be on high draft. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm ready for it. But on that stretch up to the playoffs, you got Bristol on low draft ×3. You got Dover, normal ×3. You got New Hampshire, a normal package ×2. Mid-Ohio ×2. Leading into another off week. Then we end the season at Daytona on a high draft ×2 package before the playoffs start. And Crimson kind of break it down for us in the playoffs. There's not much difference, but you can break it down for us.
Like you said, not too terribly much of a difference, but going into Auto Club to start off playoffs, high draft, 3 times wear. Again, just it's an interesting track, kind of makes everybody race a little bit harder, kind of a, a little bit of a racy aspect to it. And then after that, we're going to the Homestead Miami Road Course. Um, something completely different than what you're coming off of on Auto Club, and really, really kind of shake things up. And then we go right on over to on the normal 3 times, and then that kind of rounds up the first round.
Yeah, SP, you want to kind of go over the second round and the final 4?
Yeah, I got you. So, honestly, a pretty easy round for the second round. So if you make it through the first round after all the treacherous tracks we go to, second round should be pretty breeze for everyone. We go to Las Vegas, very easy mile and a half, one of the best mile and a halves in the game, if not the best mile and a half in the game. Then you go to Watkins Glen, the easiest road course in the game. Very nice road course, nothing too hard about that. And then you go to Richmond, pretty decent short track. A little hard for some, others a little easier. It's not bad. So it's just gonna be honestly who's just the most consistent in that round. Really, anyone could make it to the final four in that round just by looking at all those tracks. There's really not a track that sticks out to me at all. Vegas, you do lose a little more than lap of fuel, so that could come into play maybe. But other than that, I mean, everything seems pretty straightforward as far as the tracks go. We shouldn't see too many issues uh coming from this round as far as this goes. And like I said, if you're consistent, you should make the final four pretty easy.
Yeah, and with that Final Four, obviously you have Atlanta, Iowa, Road America, and Indy. Iowa on that ×3 once again, and Indy on the high drive ×2. Now, one thing we have not mentioned yet, and I kind of want to save it to the end, but LRS, we have shaken things up. This season, Cup Series have 12 drivers that make the playoffs. Also this season, in the Xfinity and Trucks, there is 8 drivers who make playoffs. There's a big change coming next year for the lower series in the playoffs. What can we expect from these lower series going into the playoffs next season?
Yeah, personally, I don't know the exact numbers, so I don't wanna lie. So I'll leave that up to you, Alex.
I'll just let you know.
All right, well, in the 2 lower series, the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, we are expanding the playoffs, 8 drivers to 10. So more drivers are going to be making the playoffs. We're gonna have a more competitive field in both of the series. I think that's going to be really fun, Alex. You always like to see more people competing, and you like to have more people, especially going for that coveted championship.
And you're exactly right. I mean, next season we're expecting a lot more drivers to come in. We already have a good stacked field already in the lower series, and there's going to be possibly more drivers that are be coming in. So we're very excited to see more drivers that want to join into UTLR next season. Obviously, if you are a brand new driver that have never competed in UTLR, then expect to start off in the lower series. That's one of our rules. You will have to start off in the lower series and race for a championship in either the Xfinity and or Truck Series. You can choose. If you are a new guy and you want to race in the league, you have to either race in Trucks or Xfinity, or you can race in both for the championship. You can have the choice. And then, like we said, you can race as many Cup races as you want, but you just cannot compete for the championship, which means you have to drop out at the start of the playoffs. But if you are a Cup Series driver currently, and you choose to drop down, then that's your own choice. But if you're a Cup Series full-time driver racing for the championship next year, then it's just the vice versa. You can race as many lower series races as you want. But once playoffs start, you gotta dip and you gotta focus on Cup. But with the expansion of the league, the expansion of drivers that we are expecting, we've got a waiting list right now of a good chunk of drivers that will be joining us next season. So this lower series is going to have a lot more drivers than we're expecting, than what some may be expecting. So to bump it up to 10 gives that extra 2 drivers the extra incentive to drive, to fight, to go for it every step of the way. Every point will matter. We have seen this season, if you don't know, the Truck Series playoffs, it came down to, I believe, 4 points, 5 points between 2 drivers. And we almost had a underdog that was in a must-win situation that we didn't even put into the picture because we didn't expect him to, he hadn't done a whole lot, and so we didn't expect him to really show off as well as he did. But Go Dogs, he almost won Talladega in the trucks. If he would have won, he would have been in the playoffs. And that would have ruined the competition that was riding between 2 drivers that was fighting between about 5 points. So that was insane. So what a way to end a season like that. Then we go to Xfinity. 3 points separates 3 drivers. Now, granted, we didn't really have anybody that was a underdog that had a must-win only. Everybody's kind of in that bracket, but 3 people, 3 points was all that separated it. 1 driver got in, and that was insane to watch at Talladega. Both Trucks and Xfinity was both at Talladega. So that was amazing. That was awesome. I was excited. Now we get to add 2 more drivers. and we're all going to Daytona to end the season. So it's gonna be awesome to see everybody go back to kind of the originality of it, go back to Daytona and end the season in a good way, and maybe some more excitement to come next season. So uh, a lot going on, a lot has happened, and we're excited to see what happens next season in season 7. As y'all can see as well, it's kind of a with the farewell tour, we're kind of going tropical as a theme. So if y'all see some pictures like you see on the screen right now, yes, we kind of have a theme that kind of goes on every single year. This year is kind of the standard blue and white after being that gold theme for the season 5 anniversary. Season 6 kind of back to our original standard. Season 7 being a farewell season, we're kind of going that paint splatter slash tropical theme is what we're kind of going for next season. So that's gonna be kind of what we look at and kind of try to incorporate into some of our graphics or stuff like that. Um, but Luke, it's been so awesome already this season. Overall, what is your overall aspect and what to expect going into next season? If you're a new driver, let's put it this way: if you're a new driver that has yet to race here, what do you need to expect coming into next season?
Yeah, I'm gonna be dead honest. If you're a new driver coming in to UTLR, especially in season 7, it's gonna be tough for you. You're gonna have to adapt. You're gonna have to learn. Um, but these guys race hard, but they race fun, and that's the most important thing. You have to race fun, and you have to have fun doing what you're doing. If you're not having fun, then it's pointless. Um, I think it's gonna be tough, like I said, but it's worth it. It's worth it in the end. I've been here for 5, 6 seasons now, and I literally there's no other league that I would rather be a part of.
And Luke actually gained the upper hand control this past season. He got the boost up to vice president. So he's come up with a lot of great ideas. He's actually been helping run a couple of series. He's been helping run the truck series this year. Uh, been kind of my right hand man, so it's been awesome working with him in the admin team. But he's such a great racer. I can speak for everybody in here, and all my racers are great racers. I love every single driver. Even though you may get on my nerves every time here and there, but in the end, I love every single one of y'all out there. And I think the drivers know that pretty well. Uh, yeah, I can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but I try to comprehend with y'all and try to make y'all feel like family. That's I think the biggest thing. I mean, Crimson, you're a new rookie this year in the admin team and first full time year in the Cup Series. So, I mean, what was being your aspect as far as like a family aspect here with the league?
Man, to be honest with you, I couldn't I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. Um, from the second I just started practicing with you guys, I knew that this this was definitely a league of not one single driver isn't willing to help another one out. I I said something earlier in the admin chat, just kind of mentioning, iron sharpens iron, and that's definitely what this league is. Is if I see you struggling, I'm gonna help you out. If you see me struggling, you're gonna help me out, and it
Yeah.
like you said, it's a family aspect where everybody wants to grow together and get better as a total league.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to SPU.
SPU
Yeah.
man has been a lifesaver. You can look at you can look at my final placings from beginning of the season to when I enrolled in SPU and versus now.
Yeah, inside joke. SP obviously has his own little quote unquote university, and he has some strategies up his sleeve sometimes. Worked out for some, not so well for others.
Didn't work out
Brad,
this week.
Hey, it worked
no,
out for Eddie. Eddie was not going to get a top 2, and he got second at Dover in Xfinity. And then
exactly.
Crimson got a great qualifying run. I don't know what track it was. I think it was Michigan or Atlanta or something, and Crimson did good there. Our Denny used my setup. HD used my setup. HD ended up winning the race, and I gave him my setup. So you know what? Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it works sometimes, and I gotta brag real quick because I usually don't. But some of our lower guys that kind of stay hidden within this league, and one of them actually put into the chat uh, saying it's great to see what you guys have done with this league, creative ideas and great competition. Guys like Brad and guys, Deport tends to stay kind of actually in the wake, but HD, yeah, he's funny, but he kind of stays hidden as a driver. He doesn't really say a whole lot, except for actually in the race. Um, Denny kind of stays quiet in the back, mid pack back. Will run up front sometimes. Brad being the same way. He tends to run very well. Uh, but and even like Hack as a veteran here, they are amazing. Like I try to represent every driver in the best way possible. I really do. But those people, INF just said it the best. The unsung goats. I mean, Luke, SP, because y'all have seen it. These guys that are veterans, like Brad, like Hack, they don't really say a whole lot. But I try to hear them out. I try to listen to them. I've listened to Hack a couple times on some ideas. I try to go with people that are drivers that don't say a whole lot to really try to get their input. And I've gone to these drivers throughout the season, checking in on them because they don't say much. It's hard to get anything out of like Hack. Crimson, I know he blows your head off, but uh, I mean I gotta sometimes work stuff out of him to kind of get an idea of what he's looking for. Guys like Brad, who just kind of pops in, pops out of the race, but doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, I try to make everybody notice. That's the big thing about the league, and that's one thing I look for as a owner. I try to make every driver feel important. If you don't feel important here, then I have failed you somewhere. That's a personal thing to me. I try to make you feel important. If you're not important, then I'm sorry. I have failed you in some way, some form, some fashion. I know we're not the best league out there. We try to be as good as we can. We got the backing support of the Xbox One esports racing community as well with Rock NASCAR and his crew. Uh, MVRA, our sister league, I guess, quote unquote, with Flash running that, and like 90% of our league runs over there on Sunday nights. It's awesome to see those people racing other leagues, obviously, but there's so many drivers like yourself, that Luke and Crimson and SP and others out there that don't really race anywhere else except for here. Uh, I mean, without trying to be all sentimental or anything, but I guess Luke, what do you think is like the difference maker of like why people I've seen within our league that chooses to race almost nowhere except here?
Yeah, I mean, to put it simply, it's a brotherhood. Like you said before, like Crimson said, you come in and it's going to be hard to adapt and it's going to be hard to learn, but it's like that everywhere. And there's nobody in here that is not willing to help you build into a better driver. There's drivers in here that have been here since before I was here, like Mole, Alex, obviously yourself. Ducky still races time to time. He's going through some things. Those guys taught me how to race. They shaped who I am as a racer on the track in the game. They taught me how to be faster. They taught me everything I know. And now I'm consistently top five. I'm a truck champion, trying to get another one, trying to get Xfinity championship this year, chasing the Cup championship, top five in points in all three. So, it's a brotherhood. So when you come in, you have to expect that you're going to fall into a category with people and you're going to work with people. And they will help you. They will not turn you down.
Oh yeah, and that's awesome. So pretty much with that, that's kind of where we're going to end it tonight. It's been awesome to reveal this, and for you drivers there in the chat, we'll be posting the actual season 7 full length schedules, so that way you can actually see it in full and everything highlighted. But it's been awesome. I'm so glad that everybody tuned in. Brad, Deport, Jogs, INF, and whoever else I missed. Clater, High Road, Dusty, all y'all, every single driver, important. I don't care who you are, what you do. You may piss me off here and there, but guess what? I love you at the end of it as a driver.
Kenny.
Yes. Oh my God, Kenny. Kenny, I hate you sometimes, but in the end, brotherhood, I love you, even though you are a Texas guy. sometimes I have things about you. But it's been awesome, guys. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for having the support of UTR. Thank you for joining UTR. Thank you for what you do in this league. And guys, without y'all, and I mean this, without y'all, this stream right here would not have happened. And the season 7 schedule that we revealed would not have happened without y'all's input and y'all's support. So it really does go a long ways. It's not just us admins making decisions. It's listening to you as the drivers, what you want. So it really does mean whenever I put in those forms to fill out, what's your take, I put as anonymous. It's not. I'm really trying to get some good info out of y'all to really put what y'all want. And I think we hit it on the head this year, Luke. SB Crimson, I think we did. I think we listened to what people wanted from what we got, and lining the season up is one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people was waiting for, and they're getting that. So big things to come. So yeah, with that, we're going to close it out. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the coverage. And thank you for the sponsor of Xbox One Esports Racing Community for providing this live stream. And we greatly appreciate everybody at that group. So till then, guys, UTR Live will go live again next week. Or sorry, no, tomorrow night for the Cup Series racing action at Daytona, where we will have our very own Yeti stepping into the booth. He's been in the booth a couple times with some help tomorrow night because INF and HD are out, so with personal reason. So Yeti is going to take over the booth by himself. So please give him your support. If y'all see him in Discord or whatever else, give him a shout out. He's going to need it tomorrow night as he takes on the Cup Series by himself for the first time as a broadcaster. We're excited to see what he does with it as a helping hand. And then Trucks and Xfinity return next week Trucks return next month. Xfinity returns next week for the start of the UTR Xfinity Series playoffs. Till then, I'll take it easy, be safe, and once again, we're ready for Season 7.